Okay, so tonight's lesson, we're talking specifically about goals, all right? Essentially, a goal is pretty straightforward. I can set up a goal for individual team members, and these goals can be based on sales. It can be based on service, all right? It can be based on a lot of different things, right? You can basically set up goals for a number of different records in CRM. The two most common that I'll set up is sales. So there's different types of goals you can set up. I can set up a goal specifically for a salesperson, and that's a single goal for a single person. I can obviously set up individual goals for each salesperson. I can also set up what we call a parent goal. So a parent goal means I have a series of child goals, which are all the salespeople, that roll up to the parent goal. So if I have 10 people, each with a goal of 1 million, and I have a parent goal that would roll up and that would create a 10 million rand goal. All right. So to set up a goal, really simple, we go into the menu. If we go on the navigation here, we go straight to sales, and then we click on goals. The default view that will show here is my goals for this period. Now, the reason why it's empty is obviously because there's no goals created. But the second thing is this one has already, because it's a trial environment, it's configured for a different date, for a different date frame. Okay, so I'm going to go here to active goals, and you'll see there's a couple of active goals that's already been set up. So the ones that are set up specifically for the test data. So Q1, Q2, 3, and 4 for these people over here, and they've each got individual goals. All right. But in my case, what I want to do is I want to set up a new goal. So I go to new, I give my goal a name. So I'm going to go, I'm going to give it a name. It's got a name called annual goal for Byron, for example. And then I'm going to set up a goal owner. So the goal owner is actually quite critical, right? So what the goal owner is this is who does the goal actually apply to. Okay, so I'm going to make it apply to myself. And then you obviously set up a manager who is Byron's manager. And obviously in this case, it's defaulting to me, but you can actually set up the correct manager that's there. All right. The parent goal. So if I wanted to add a parent goal, I could do that. I could connect it to a parent. But in this case, we're just going to keep it really simple. Next is a goal metric. So a goal metric is what are we counting? Are we counting number of support cases? Are we counting revenue, number of product units, and so forth? So these three that come over here, these are actually out of the box, and you can actually go and configure your own ones. For the sake of demonstration, I'm going to create a revenue-based goal, a goal metric. Well, I'm going to use the revenue-based goal metric. I'm going to save that. I'm going to actually go into this goal metric and show you what it looks like. So it's telling me to count revenue, that's the name. It's counting the amount, and it's counting money. If I go into the roll-up fields, it's counting the actual money, which means one opportunity is the actual revenue that was reported, and it's counting the in-progress money of open opportunities for the estimated revenue. All right, so that's the two pieces of data that it's counting. So if I may, let me define what a roll-up actually is. All right, to do that, I'm going to use Excel. All right, so let me clear this data out here. So if, for example, I set up a goal for you, and let's say your goal is 1,000, for example, and I set up a goal for Byron, and that is, let's say, 1,000 as well. The term roll up means is to sum. So if I to roll up these two numbers and click on sum, the roll up value is 2,000. Okay. When we talk about opportunities, that's a different story. Okay. So we can say Nandis has opportunities, and opportunity one, number one, is valued at 5,000 Rand. Opportunity number two is valued at 3,000 Rand. But let's say these both are in an in-progress state. And in progress, if I had to roll this up to your goal, I would go like this, and then it would roll. Sorry, it's actually rolling the opposite way. Silly me. All right. So that's the roll-up value. So it's the sum of the in progress or sum of the actual, and the two combined tells me actually how far I am away from my goal. I hope that makes sense. All right. So let's go back to our goals now. Okay, so there's my annual goal for Byron. I'm not finished setting it up yet. So I've given it a name. I've assigned it to a goal owner. Who does the goal actually apply to? Next, I need to give it a time period. So I'm going to just change this name to, I'm going to give this you can either define it as a fiscal period, which means it'll take the system settings and define the fiscal period. So is it a fiscal period? In other words, quarter 1, 2, 3, or 4, or I'm going to give it a custom period. And my custom period, I'm going to set this custom period for from January the 1st until December the 31st. So I'm actually giving a custom period for the entire year. Right now, I can obviously set up goals for a month. I can set up goals for a week if I wanted to. I can set up goals for a financial quarter. You can set them up pretty much flexible the way you want them. All right. Next, we're going to save before we change screens. All right. And then we're going to go to targets. So I'm going to give myself a target. Let's say my target is 1 million. Okay, cool. And save that. So now I've got my target set. Okay, now child goals. So this is if I have additional goals underneath me based on other people. So like if I'm a sales manager, for example. Okay, actuals. So now what the actuals do, it'll say actual. This is the actual money that was taken. So opportunities that were won, what the actual revenue is there based on your rollup query. And then the in progress will tell me what is the estimated revenue, the total of all my opportunities, estimated revenue, all summed up as in progress for open opportunities. Okay. Goal criteria. So this is kind of where I got to tell it. So the first step here, this one over here, it says roll up only from child goals. So in this case, I don't want to do that because what I want to do is I want to add up all of the open and in progress opportunities that belong to me. So that I'm going to leave to no. And then it says record set to roll up. I want it to roll up only the opportunities that are owned by the goal owner, which is myself. If I say all, this is the all setting is commonly used when this is set to yes. Okay, so when I'm rolling up queries. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set that to no and change this so that it's rolling up only goals that actually apply to me. Right, and then we can go ahead and save that. Okay, cool. Next, you can add some notes if you want to. And there's obviously a timeline here. If you want to perform all the functions that are in the timeline, I can go and add a new note and so forth. And then participating records. Let's go and have a look at how that looks. All right, so participating records, it's already picking up that some of the records that are in the system already, this is the actual new opportunity I created yesterday that's in a 1 state. So it's already picking up some of that. All right, let's go back to the beginning. Okay, one thing I want to show you is the actuals. If I go to actuals and I click on recalculate and click on OK, it should pull some figures. There we go. All right. So where does it actually get these figures from? So it's got actual 1,900. That's an opportunity I won in yesterday's demonstration. And in progress is 150,000. All right. Now let's go back to participating records and go and see why. Okay. It's got one over there. That's cool. Let's go to my opportunities. There's opportunities over here. Oh, sorry. I forgot to show you one thing. Rollup queries. All right. Let's go look at the active rollup queries. So the rollup queries, we need to tell the system how to actually do the calculation. So I'm going to go to new and I'm going to create a new rollup query. So I'm going to call this sum of opportunities, for example. Okay. I need to select where must it calculate from. So we're going to tell it to calculate from opportunity. There we go. All right. Next, I need to give it a query. So I need to tell it which records to search. So I'm going to click on add. I'm going to say add row. Okay. And now I need to tell it which fields on the actual opportunity form. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say where the owner, where's owner? Let me see. There we go. Owner equals current user. Great. And the second query I want to use is, let's actually view those records. You can click on view and it'll show me a bunch of records over here. So sale of a car, new PC required. It's got a whole bunch that's in progress over here. All right. So that makes sense, right? It makes 100% sense. Cool stuff. Okay, let's save that. Now, if you notice something, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of opportunities here, but our calculation on our goal is actually not considering all of them. And the reason for that is because these two goals are within the fiscal period and the other goals are outside of the fiscal period. So they are old sales that have been achieved. All right. So what I want to go and do is I want to go create a new opportunity. Okay. So I'm going to go to opportunities, and we're just going to create a really basic opportunity for now. I'm going to go to my opportunities, my open opportunities over there. And there's my 2 opportunities that I'm working on. I'm going to go to new, and we're going to give this a opportunity a definition. So let's say, let's just call it service agreement. Okay. And then it wants to know who is the person, the contact. So the test contact that I created is John Black. So I go and select him. For which account? It was the customer account, so which company account. The purchase time frame, is it immediate, this quarter, this year, whenever? So I'm just going to say immediate. All right. The budget amount, let's say his budget amount is 5,000. The purchase process is individual or committee or unknown. So let's go say unknown. Customer wants a contract. What am I typing here? Customer wants a cleaning contract. Great. Cool. So we're done with that. Let's go save it. Okay. Now, once we've saved it, we need to give it a product. So we need to select a price list. So price list is actually in tomorrow's lecture. So for now, I'm just going to go and select retail. I'll explain it to you later in tomorrow's lecture, what price lists are and products and so forth. Okay, so now revenue. This revenue field is actually, you need to tell the system how to calculate the revenue. So you got user provided or system calculated. What's the difference between the two? System calculated means it'll take the opportunity products over here, and it'll add up each of the values, and it'll give you a total. If I say user provided, it means I actually have to go and provide a value or an estimated value of the opportunity. I generally like to use system calculated. Next, we're going to go add a product. So we click on add product. Now, we would select the product either if we leave this as existing, it means we're going to select from a product catalog. But in this case, I'm not going to. So I'm going to change this to write-in. And I'm going to give it the product a name, cleaning service. All right. And then the price per unit, I'm going to say 5,000. Quantity is 1. And I'm pretty happy with that. Let's save that. Fantastic. And then we just click back on our browser to shoot back to the opportunity. So now we've got our price actually in there. Okay, fantastic. Cool. The very last thing, and this is very, very important, is to set the estimated close date, because we've got an opportunity here, but we can't add this opportunity into the actual goal if they don't know when you estimate you're going to close the sale. So on the top right over here, there's your estimated close date. So we use the calendar, and we say that we estimate we're going to close the sale at the end of this month. Okay, and then save. So what the system is doing behind the scenes is, if I go back to the goals, change the view to my active goals. If I select this and click on recalculate, it'll go and recalculate these figures and give me the new figures. All right. But I must explain, this recalculate is if I want to recalculate it right now. The system will do it automatically, but it does it every 12 hours. All right. Let's open it up and let's go straight to actuals. So if we look at actuals, it says our in progress is now 155,000. If you remember previously, it was 5,000. Our target over here is 1 million. So what the system does is when you put this data into a graph, it says that my goal for the year is 1 million. My actuals currently is I've brought in 1,900, and my in progress money is 155,000. So when you look at it in the grand scheme of things with a big sales team, it's actually quite easy to see the progress and what this team's doing and how far they actually are and so forth. Okay, right. Let's go and take that 5,000 Rand opportunity and go and set it to 1 and see how it actually changes what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to go to our opportunities, go down to my open opportunities. There we go. Right, and it was a service agreement. There it is there. And now right on top, we're going to close this as 1. So 1, and then we have our actual revenue as 5,000. But just to make it interesting, I'm going to change this actual revenue to 4,000. So what I'm essentially saying is I estimated and quoted the opportunity to be valued at 5,000, but when we actually signed the contract, the amount that we actually won was for 4,000. Okay. And then click on OK. And then it'll close the opportunity in a one state. And now obviously it becomes closed. All right. And read only as well. Let's go back to our goals. And then we can go to my active goals, click on it, and then let's recalculate. And then it'll change my goals. Right, let's go open it and see what it actually looks like. All right, so we've got 5,900 there because we've added 4,000 to the previous 1,900, and our in progress is back at 150,000. All right. So when I do the lecture that teaches you how to create graphs and charts and goal charts and so forth, you'll actually see how this renders on a chart, and it actually looks quite exciting. All right. Do you have any questions for me at this point with regards to goals? Let me go check the chat. I see there's a cool. Okay, so you got it. That's fantastic. All right, great stuff. I'm going to post the video online as well as yesterday's video as well, so that you can go and check that out and refer back to that. Cool. Thank you so much.